What's up, everybody out there? How you doing? Welcome back to another episode of Pepe's Point of View. I'm your favorite host, your favorite R&B historian, your favorite music critic, Pepe. And today you're in for a treat because we're talking about Luther Vandross's "The Night I Fell in Love" album. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that album is probably one of the highlights of my musical experience. Is one of the highlights of the 80s to me. Yes, that album, cut for cut, I love it. It's an all time favorite of mine. And so today, what I want to do is I want to talk about that album. And what you see right here before you is actually um, my website, hindsfeet.com. I have my website up, have a lot of things that I am trying to now diligently place over on the website so you guys can have a central location to go to learn all things about me. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. So just hold on tight. I told you there's a method to my madness, and so everything seems to be coming together like it should. Well, without further ado, let's talk about Luther Vandross, ladies and gentlemen, in this album. Yes, it's an article that actually I wrote for Black Music Month back in June, and um, you can find this on my website, not my website, but my Facebook page. And so, what I want to do is just share it with you guys. Luther Vandross, Cooking Up Soul. Luther Vandross's approach Luther Vandross approached food and music with the same kind of devotion, precision, and heart. In one interview, he candidly admitted that when he wakes up in the morning, he thinks about food all day. His personal chef and close friends confirmed it. Luther loved home cooked meals. His favorite dish, macaroni and cheese. He called it the ultimate comfort food. He also adored fried chicken, collard greens, and sweet potato pie, the holy trinity of Southern cuisine. Speaking of macaroni and cheese, I recently made a batch from scratch and I haven't touched the box stuff since. It just hits differently. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you it does. I mean, when I made macaroni and cheese from scratch, I was like, why am I eating this out the box? Anyway, speaking of hits, I now understand why Luther was so meticulous about how he served his albums. He didn't just want fans to consume them, he planned to do the same. He knew the exact ingredients to make a hit, to craft a classic. Even though some of his 90s and 2000s work didn't age as gracefully as his 80s material, the care was always there. He was like a master chef, guiding sous chefs through every step, ensuring the flavors come together perfectly and teaching the craft behind it. Lisa Fisher, known as the $1 Million background singer and Grammy winning artist in her own right, once said that working with Luther, felt like being in a playground. He mentored her beyond the studio and onto the stage. They even shared the same management team when she released her debut hit album, So Intense, in 1991. While Luther wasn't known for throwing down in the kitchen himself, that was his chef's domain. In the studio, he was a culinary genius, serving up soulful, timeless music that fed the spirit. The Night I Fell in Love, a gourmet album experience. The Night I Fell in Love is a gourmet meal of an album, meticulously crafted, rich in flavor, and deeply satisfying. Like a signature dish prepared by a master, it has layers of emotion, smooth textures, and moments that linger long after the last note fades. Its 93 spot on Rolling Stone's best albums of the 80s may seem modest at first glance, but in a decade bursting with competition, it's a strong nod, a testament to the album's staying power and Luther's deep respect in the industry. This album is like that perfectly balanced comfort meal, familiar and elevated, humble yet sophisticated, exactly the kind of soul food Luther specialized in. Here's a few courses worth savoring. Till My Baby Comes Home, a vibrant, soulful, simmering number. The upbeat tempo is like a bubbling pot, electrifying every ingredient. Billy Preston's gospel-infused organ, channeling Twinkie Clark level brilliance, is smoky and hearty. His performance brings the same jolt Eddie Van Halen gave Michael Jackson's Beat It. Some may call that a stretch, but true R&B aficionados will recognize the precision of the comparison. Then there's that outro, the joyful call and response between Luther and his hand-picked background singers, Cece Houston, Velvety Cream, Alpha Anderson, Smokey Silk, Michelle Cobb's fresh zest, and Fonzie Thornton's robust earthiness. It's a drizzle of honey and spice over a perfect dish. The moment makes you want to shout, "This is so good," it makes you want to slap your mama. They put their foot in it. If only for one night, a slow-cooked, candlelit ballad that Luther sinks his teeth into. Rather than reinventing Brenda Russell's original, he reheats it with care, letting the original flavors come through while adding his signature seasoning. Like any great chef, Luther respects the ingredients, and those background vocals at the end, they show up, show out, and then vanish, leaving you asking, is that it? Can I get a refill, please? Creeping, originally cooked up by Stevie Wonder, Luther serves as a sweet, sultry, slow boil. He adds nothing extra. He doesn't need to. His delivery alone intensifies the heat, turning it into a hauntingly intimate performance. It's tender, tension-filled, and true to the original spirit. But once again, it's Luther, and that makes all the difference. Wait for Love. This is the culinary classic, a soul ballad that simmers with longing and hope. It's the kind of dish you turn to when your faith in love is running low. Every bite, every note nourishes your belief that love will come eventually. Luther doesn't just sing the song, he seasons it with the kind of emotion only lived experience can bring. And then there's Marcus Miller, the co-chef. Luther and Marcus Miller were like a dynamic kitchen duo, master and sous chef, expertly balancing flavors, making sure every course complemented the next. Their production style on The Night I Fell in Love is smooth and polished, with no harsh edges or abrupt spices. The album plays like a warm, home-cooked meal meant to be shared, whether you're falling in love, remembering it, or just wishing you were. The legacy, the soul food for the soul. Double platinum status, that's like a signature dish going viral. It's not just about crafting something good, it's about knowing how to serve it so that it reaches everyone's table and lingers in the heart. Luther didn't just feed us songs, he gave us a comfort, intimacy, elegance, and joy. Meals we could return to over and over. The Night I Fell in Love isn't just an album, it's a feast, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I'm here to tell you how I love that album. I really and truly do, ladies and gentlemen. Luther's album, The Night I Fell in Love, at that time, it just seems like it just brought everything together. I think that this would be really Luther at his best from a production side. His vocals are great on this one. The background vocals are great. I don't think anything on this album, now that I think about it, is overpowering. You know, when we think about songs like not the night I fell in love, but A House Is Not a Home. If we think about Superstar, if we think about those, these are like haunting ballads, right? That they are definitely classics in their own right. But those songs really takes over the album. They're the highlight of the album, right? But with The Night I Fell in Love, everything is kind of like toned down. It's not placed in a box, so to speak, but yet at the same time, everything is just, as I said, it's perfectly balanced. To me, I think the standout track on the album is, of course, is "Wait for Love," but I think the message it was captivates us. You know, I think it's something that we all, you know, identify with, you know, wanting to be in love and hoping that you will find love, finding a person who you want to love, that person possibly not going to love you back. But then it's that, as I said, the call and response back, so to speak, with Luther and the background singers that just makes it all the more, you know. Oh gosh, I could talk about this album over and over again, but I'm trying to limit things. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, if you reach this point in my commentary, I think it's only appropriate for me to ask you to hit the like button, the subscribe button, the share button, all of that. Leave a comment. I know this album is probably one of your favorites by Luther Vandross. Also, too, my motto over here is simple: put your behind where your heart desires to be. And whenever I leave my mother's presence, she always says to me, baby, remember, I love you, but God loves you best. I look forward to seeing you guys next video. And until then, take care of yourselves. I know that's what I'll be doing. All right, ladies and gentlemen.